Hello, good evening. Welcome to yet another session, okay, of Ask Me Anything. So, normally what we do is, you can see Ask Me Anything weekly sessions. So, these sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time on my YouTube channel. You can watch it live. Normally, what I do is I talk about a topic for about 5 7 minutes and then it's open to questions. You can ask on the same topic or any other question on which I'll try to answer to my capability. Okay. So, welcome to yet another session. We have got a topic right now. Today, it's about water. Okay, water in Ayurveda. You know that it started raining, especially this part of the world in Kerala. It started raining. The rainy season has started. Water, yes, we do get water in abundance. So I thought let's talk about water today. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so water is the synonyms of water is jala, ambu, toya, etc. in Sanskrit. Okay, and it is one among the Pancha Mahabhutas. You have got five. You have got Akasha, the space, Vayu, air. You have got Agni, fire. You have got water, jala, and then you have got Prithvi, the earth. So uh, jala is one among the Pancha Mahabhutas, and it's very, very important. So 70% of the earth is about water, and close to about 60% of the human body is also water. So just try to understand the impact water has got on the body. So physical thing, what you see and you feel, as far as the tridoshas go, is predominantly water. So the body is predominantly kapha. Okay, so let's start with that note. Now, what are the properties of water? Water, Jivanam Tarpanam Hridyam Hradi Buddhi Prabho. This is from Ashtanga Hridaya. Okay, water is life promoting. No life can survive, okay, without water. So water is very, very important. It could be in the form of, droplets, or it could be in the form of vapor, or, in whatever form it is, or in the form of humidity, For life sustenance, you need water. Tarpanam, it's extremely nourishing. All of us know that. Jivanam, Tarpanam, Hridyam. Okay, Hridyam, in the sense that you feel, Hridaya means heart. The moment you drink a little bit of water, you feel, you feel satisfied, satiated. That is Hridyam. Hladi means Ahladam. It provides happiness. It promotes happiness. Buddhi Prabodhanam. It activates your intellect. It could also be externally. Also, you wash your face, or you take a shower in cold water, or you drink a little bit of water. You'd feel as if your mind opens up, and your intelligence is kindled. It is tanu. Tanu means it is thin. It means it's not thick. It is something which is thin, and it can pass through even the smallest of orifice. That is called tanu. Okay. Avyaktarasa. Avyaktarasa in the sense its taste is not something which is well defined. You drink water, you will not be able to say what the taste is. Okay, it is laghu, it is light. That means it does not create heaviness in the body. Sheetam means cold. After you consume water, it cools the body down. And amrutopamam, it is just like nectar. Okay, opposite of that is visha. So it is an amazing treatment for all kinds of poisonings too. So amrutopamam, it is equal to nectar. So these are the properties of water. So the best water is Aindri, or rain water. If you can capture rainwater directly, not the first rain after that, that is supposed to be the best rain. Okay, so there are certain conditions where water is not indicated. That means water is not supposed to be taken. Where in conditions where you have low digestion, where the digestion is very low, you can't keep on drinking water. If you're thirsty, yes, a few sips you can have, but otherwise water is not indicated. In conditions of anemia, okay, we really mean pandu, where pitta is very low. You cannot consume too much of water. You have to slow little by little. You have to get that pitta up. The more and more water you drink, the pitta goes down. Okay. Ascites, all of us know that, where you have got water retention in the abdomen, and where in conditions where you keep on passing motions over and over after food, you feel like passing motions. Okay. Muhur baddha, muhur drava. In the sense you pass motion. Sometimes you're constipated, sometimes you pass watery stools. In such conditions, that's IBS basically. You're not supposed to have too much of water. Swelling of the body, people who have got swelling might most probably might have a little bit of kidney issues. Water intake is restricted. Sometimes they say 1 to maximum 1.5 liters of water is what you can have. In diarrhea, when excessive diarrhea happens, we say, you could have a little bit of water to prevent dehydration, but don't have too much of water. Restricted water. In conditions of hemorrhoids too, okay, water consumption should not be too much, because anything in all these conditions, notice that wherever your agni is down, you're not supposed to consume too much of water. So if you're feeling in these conditions, you're feeling too thirsty, then you can have a little bit of water. Okay. Now where water has been indicated as far as the season goes, in autumn and summer, you can drink really well. Okay. So it's not that you should drink 4 liters of water every day. Like, as some nutritionists say, it depends upon what season you are in, what kind of work you do. Okay. What, yeah, in a lot of factors, what kind of work you do, what season you are in, and how much of physical activity you have got, how much you sweat generally, a lot of factors. So especially in autumn and summer, you are supposed to drink more water. In other seasons, you have to drink only little bit of water. Okay. It is even for a healthy person. Don't keep on drinking too much of water. You can Google and see, the bad effects of overhydration. We think that the more water we drink, the more healthy we'll become. No, there condition called overhydration is equally bad or even more than dehydration. So food, no, okay, water can be had before food, during or after food. There's a shloka in Ashtanga Hridaya which says, Samasthula Krisho Bhukta Madhyanta Pratamambupa, which says, and water can be consumed just before food, during food, and also after food, but the effect of that is different. So anything you do elicits a result, right? So there are no hard and fast rules that you should not drink water before food or you should not drink water after food. There are no rules, but if you drink, you will get a result out of it. That's what Acharya says. Okay. So this is basically about water. You can start asking your questions. Okay. So when you drink cold water, it manages intoxication. You are relieved of tiredness. If a person is not conscious or he crashes, you splash water on the face, you can see he gets up. For vomiting, it's good to drink a little bit of water or wash your face. Cold water will take care of all these things. Okay. And now, hot water is in small quantities, not in high quantity. In small quantities, it acts as an appetizer. Okay. And when they talk too much, you'll see their throat gets clogged. Drinking a little bit of hot water will manage that. Okay. You feel light after taking hot water. It clears your bladder. Okay. And hiccups, cold, breathing issues, and all those things are taken care with hot water. Okay. So you can start asking your questions. I see a lot of questions. Let me try to answer those. Okay. Yeah, good evening, Tejeshwara. Good evening, Krishna Vastani. Good evening, Grabra. Good evening. Oh, from Virginia. Okay. Now, Krishna, I'm having tingling. Okay, one second. I'm having tingling sensation in my finger from a couple of months. I recently underwent PPS, JPS, Shirodhara, and Matravasti. Okay. Also, my energy levels extreme low from 2 months. Please guide. Krishna Vastini, I don't know what exactly is happening with you. Okay, so it could be, we don't know whether there is a compression in your cervical area. You would have gone through MRIs and stuff like that. That is one thing which we have to look into. If you have got in both your hands, then it's a different way in which we have to handle that. Okay. So how do we manage that? So when you mean that your energy levels are extremely low, that means your vata is down or your kapha sorry, your kapha is down and your vata is extremely high. So I probably feel that it's always good for you to go and consult somebody here, okay? Because having tingling sensation in your fingers is not a nice place to be. It is definitely something to do with your nervous system. I personally feel that the first thing what comes to my mind is you might be having a cervical compression. That's what I personally feel. Okay. Your prakriti is pitta vata. Drinking water after meals nourishes highest. Tejashri Murthy, as I just said, drinking water is okay before food, during food, or even after food. So, of late, you'll say, you've seen a lot of people say, modern people say that, the myth that if you drink water before food will dilute your digestive fires, and they have busted the myth. I would tell you, when we were in college, we studied, modern nutrition used to say that if you drink water before your meal, it will dilute your acid. But Ayurveda never says that. Ayurveda says that you can have it before food, during food, or after food. It says very clearly that if you have your water just before food, you'll notice that the amount of food you consume will go down and you'll slowly start getting denourished. Okay. And if you have your water after food, that means you have not left enough space for your, probably enough space for your water, and you will be well nourished. And if you have your water along with your food, it is balanced, so you can have it wherever you want to do. So yes, if you have your water after food, it can be immediately after food also, absolutely no problem. The nourishment is taken care of really well, no problem at all. Okay, so let me get into the next question. Yes, good evening, Ramesh Maharaj. How can amla help blood pressure? I'm an elderly vata person. How much to take daily, in and in what form? Amla is not something which will directly manage your blood pressure, but yes, it is a very good rasayani. And if your high blood pressure is very high, then amla might not be enough. But if it is slightly on the higher side, it could be due to lack of nourishment, then amla works really well. And I would say having one amla per day is the dose, and amla can be consumed on a regular basis. That's what Ayurveda says. Ashtanga says you can have amla on a daily basis, one amla. Okay, you can weigh an amla and see how much is it. That is what you can have per day, and I would say preferably with salt, because amla contains all the five tastes. Okay, Madura, Amla, Tikta, Katu, Kashaya. One thing that is missing is lavana or salt. So add salt and have it. You can have one amla per day. That is more than enough. Okay, don't try to overdo it. Okay, if you drink 30 ml juice, probably you'll have to squeeze about 3 or 4 amlas. But what you're missing over there is the pulp. I want you to also consume the pulp. Okay, the juice itself is not enough. What should be the urine output in regard to water intake? See, it is directly proportional. We can't measure it, because the if you will not pass all the water you drink, because water is also needed for a lot of other functions. So if you drink 1 liter of water, you should always consider you passing close to about 70 to 75% of that. Okay, because water is also needed for a lot of other things. But if you drink too much of water, you'll pass too much of urine. So it's directly proportional. Somewhere around 70 to 75% of the water you drink goes out as urine, if your kidneys are functioning properly. Should we drink water only when we feel very thirsty? Not exactly, Tejas Ramurthy. That's not what Ayurveda says. Uh, Around meals, especially, it is not the rule. But otherwise, yes, if not very thirsty, if you feel you're thirsty, you can drink water during the day. But around the meal, what Acharya says is, if you take your stomach, half your stomach should be with solids, and then the remaining half, again divided into two, little bit of that half, that means quarter of your stomach should be water. That is not because you're feeling thirsty. You have had your food, and because you want to see that the food digests properly, you can have that little bit of water, and then leave the remaining for space. So you drinking water around meals is not because of thirst. Note that point. Otherwise, throughout the day, it is because you feel thirsty. Don't wait till you feel over thirsty. that means you'll have already started getting dehydrated. Is soaked methi water good for my constitution? Methi water is something which is heat generating, and it's also kashaya rasa. For a person who is vata prakriti, it might not be good. For a person who's pitta, yes, it is also something which generates a little bit of heat. So for a kapha person also, it's fine. So methi, normally people, you notice that people who are slightly diabetic, they drink methi water to keep that kapha and medas under control. Okay, it might not be a very good choice if you are more of a vata prakriti. Why does one boil water? Okay, Gabba, I would say, two reasons. People argue that, in those days, the only way to purify water or make it safe for drinking was boiling. Okay, olden days. Partially, I don't say that is wrong, but there is another way of looking at it. Why do we cook food? Why do we cook vegetables? Why do we cook all those things? So in Ayurveda, you know that anything that is cooked makes that lighter. So if you take, for example, mm, how do I put it? Fruit, it could be an apple. Uncooked apple and a cooked apple. Uncooked apple is heavier when compared to the cooked apple. Likewise, you look at water. When you're boiling water, that means you are actually cooking water. Okay. Boiled water is lighter than normal water. So when you boil water, that water is easily digestible by our system. It is easily absorbable. So boiling, well, that's the reason why we boil water. So it is not. So the side effect is that yes, you will disinfect the water also by boiling it. But the main reason is it becomes lighter. Some say to sit and drink water, any logic or not required. Okay, Ayurveda does not say that you have to sit and drink water, but it says that when you have to eat food, it asks you to always sit and eat. Okay, so logically speaking, if you want to sit and drink, also it's fine. But if you're standing up and drinking, also I don't find anything wrong there. Some people say if you drink water standing, it will go directly down. No, it doesn't happen. Okay, water doesn't escape like that. It gets into the stomach, and then it goes through the intestine, then it gets into the large intestine, and then it is reabsorbed. So you sitting and drinking and standing and drinking, in my opinion, will not make a huge difference. It is cultural thing, so sitting and drinking, it's good, and then once you sit and drink, you are not in a hurry. I would say don't walk or don't run around and drink water. There are people, who drink while walking, they drink water. I would say don't do that. Stop, drink water, and then move. Is there any natural hair color recipe or product mentioned in Ayurveda? Ayurveda does not mention too much about natural hair colors and stuff like that. Okay, and there is nothing that can, it's not very easy to actually dye your hair dark with herbs. It's not easy. I've tried so many things. It does not work really well. Even if you keep see, just like you have Bringaraja and Neeli. The combination of that, yes, it will give you a dark color, but it does not stay for more than 5 days or 7 days. So you have to keep on applying it. Okay, and it does not give you that dark color. So, in my opinion, I have not come across something that can really give a dark shade to your hair and something that is 100% herbal. Okay. Is RO water healthy? It doesn't have any salts. I will ask you to do what do you call study at your home place. Okay, Tejashri Murthy. What you do is, if you have got that steaming machine in your home, the plastic one, I want you to add a little bit of your mineral water, the so-called RO mineral water, into it and switch it on. Okay, you will notice that you will not see water vapor coming out of it. Okay, might be a little bit. But what you do is you throw it out and take tap water, and then you switch on the plug. You'll notice a lot of water vapor coming out. So what is happening to that? So water, when boiled, if it does not get converted and if it does not produce vapor, is it water at all? So RO water, now it's the same question which you have to ask yourself: is RO water healthy? In my opinion, it's not very healthy. Okay, it doesn't have any salts. It does not, when it boils, it is H2O. Okay, so when you look at water, yes, chemical formula is H2O, but is water only H2O? That is the question here. Okay, because it'll have a lot of, as you said, a lot of minerals and things in very, very small quantities, which actually makes that water healthy. Boiling does not destroy most of the salts and chemicals. Okay, so boiling is safe. RO might not be a good practice. Okay, is moringa or drumstick really a superfood? Other leaves have more nutrition than moringa fruits. How can I Manjari? I would not consume or consider anything to be a superfood like that. Nothing is a superfood and nothing is bad. If you know what to use when, then we would say that it's actually good. So sometimes, if a person is extremely thirsty and famished, just a glass of water might be a superfood for him at that point of time. So moringa, in my opinion, is overhyped. Okay, you don't have to consume moringa on a regular basis. And in Kerala, we see that during the rainy season, moringa leaf is not consumed at all, because that's a time where you see a lot of insects and stuff on it. So moringa fruit is good. Moringa bark is good for medicine. Moringa leaf is also good. But I would say, don't consider moringa to be a superfood and see that you take it every day. Now, moringa capsules are available, moringa tablets are available, everything about moringa is available. You know, but in my opinion, it's not a superfood. It's a good one. Okay, once in a while you can definitely have it. Kamalnath, good evening. Can you please explain why water is contrary for piles? Won't water help loosen stool? I like that question. Okay, Kamalnath. Uh, when if you have got a dry gut, the main reason, now let me come, the main reason for piles is because of your agni going down. Okay, your agni goes down, your digestion is not proper, the stools become hard, you have to strain too much, and you've got a chance of getting hemorrhoids. Now, okay, you drink lots of water. Lots of water will only help the peristalsis movement. Okay, it does not help you pass motions if your gut is dry. If your gut is dry, okay, the opposite of dry, English language is wet, but according to Ayurveda, the opposite of dry is oily. Okay, lubrication. So what you need in a condition of piles where you have to pass soft bowels is not excessive water, which will also prevent you from digesting food well. It is having something which has got oil base, which will help you pass motions better. Kamalnath. Okay. Hope you're able to understand that. My B12, D3, and certain levels are low. How to increase it naturally? I get very tired very quickly. I am taking all supplements that feels like it's not improving. Please. Uh, uh, Krishnavastani, I basically feel, from what you have written, even your early thing, I feel that your metabolism is not right. I want you to go and consult a very good doctor. Okay. So, in spite of taking B12, D3, iron, ferritin, and all those supplements, if all those things are not going up, that means you are consuming it, it is not getting digested. Probably it might be getting digested, or absorption is not happening well. So, your metabolism is something which you have to rectify. There is no point taking supplements. Okay. And I'm not a person who would recommend supplements also. These are things which you should be able to get from food. Okay, so naturally it will, see, in spite of you taking supplements, if it's not going up, that means naturally also it will not go up. You have to see that your digestion, metabolism, and assimilation has to be rectified. Okay, how can we consult you? Okay, yeah, you can definitely consult me online. Okay, if you are there on Instagram, you can go to my profile on my Instagram and you'll see, to consult me, you can click. you are redirected to a calendar where you can fix up a slot. Okay, if you don't know, it is called drnambi.com, drnambi.com. Okay, you can go there and you can book a convenient slot and we can definitely consult. Okay, that's not a problem, but I would say your metabolism has to be rectified. Is earthen pot water good for daily use? 100% earthen pot water is good for daily use. But sometimes people get confused. I would say, if I am from this part of Kerala, the best thing for me is the food which grows around this area, seasonal foods which grow around this area. And, you look at animals. Birds are different. You look at animals, animals are born in a certain area. They don't migrate that far. Have you noticed? They are in that area only. That's the reason that makes them healthy. They eat food that grows in that area and they drink water that is from that area. So for human beings also, since we have started traveling, it's a different thing. Since I'm from this area, I would say vegetables or fruit that grows around this area is the best for me, and the water which I get in this area would be best for me. Right or wrong? Okay. So, the well water which is in this area is being held by nature's natural earthen pot, earth, right? Okay. So if I might be going to one extreme, but still, if the pot from which I drink water is made from the mud which is got from this area, it would be the best for me. If I get that earthen pot from some other part of the world, you know, telling me that earthen pot from Greece, it's good. I don't say it's not good, but I'm just giving you a thought. Okay, so whichever earthen pots are made from this area would be the best for you. And earthen pot is very good. Okay, because it breathes. Okay, it regulates the temperature of water. You can see the earthen pot is natural. It sweats also. You just wrap a cloth around it. Water becomes extremely tasty and healthy. And what a person can skip dinner to have a healthy life? No. Okay, you cannot. Okay, you cannot. You are not somebody who's supposed to skip food at all. Okay, if you're a vata person, you cannot. You're not supposed to do exercise too much. You're not supposed to not sleep. You have to sleep early. You cannot skip food. Okay, you have to apply oil on a regular basis and take a shower. Do everything that can pull vata down and promote the kapha. You cannot skip dinner and expect yourself to feel 1 or 2 days you'll feel okay. After that, you will have the energy dip. Okay. Good evening, Priya. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Ramesh. Okay. I'm not like how much water intake is recommended for those with weak Agni, which one is better choice, room temperature or warm? Okay, hot water I would say would be slightly better in sips. If your Agni is very low, that means you are having ama. And for ama, what you need to do is, if you've got too much of ama, we say upavasa or langhana. Upavasa is shutting down completely. If you shut down completely, the body slowly will start digesting the food, or it will slowly start improving your agni. Okay, so for a person with weak agni, it depends upon how weak it is. I would say drinking very little water is what you have to look into. Like if your agni is very weak, so just imagine how much food can you consume, and the water consumption should be half of what your food you eat. Suppose you are somebody who eats 4 idlis and you drink maybe about 1.5 glass of water after that. If you're able to eat only 2 idlis, you should drink only half of that water. So it depends upon how much you can eat. Your agni is directly proportional as to how much you can eat and digest. Okay, water is only supportive there. So if when you're not hungry and your agni is down, then naturally the amount of food you eat goes down, right? So, uh, proportionally, you have to reduce the amount of water you drink, and the water is always good if you drink it slightly hot. Okay, I can't give you liters in thing. Hi, Gary. Good morning. When to eat an amla in the morning in relation to a breakfast? I would say eating amla before breakfast would be the best thing, and you can continue having a breakfast. So you can eat the amla before breakfast and then continue your breakfast. And amla is supposed to be rasayani. Dhatri is one other synonym for amla, which means mother. Okay, it will take care of your health just like a mother takes care of you. Supposed to be one of the best. Okay, what food combinations are rasayana? Uh, see, anything that can promote your dhatus is rasayana. Okay, so step by step that can give you nourishment, rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, anything that can improve your dhatus or rasayana. We can't have one specific thing, uh, but rasayana uttama. What is one of the best rasayanas? I would say milk is supposed to be one of the best rasayanas. So most of the rasayanas which you consume, like in the form of lehya, avaleha, you'll notice that most of them they ask you to mix it with milk or have or drink milk on top of it, or sometimes they say you have this lehya and drink milk on top of it, or have food with milk on. So milk is something which is considered to be one of the best rasayanas. Okay, combinations, yes. Sweet taste. Okay, I don't say naturally sweetened things are almost always rasayana. Madhura promotes your dhatus more than all other rasas. Okay, combinations. I don't want to go there. Okay, does ghee raise LDL? Uh, you know, grabara. Okay, not exactly. Okay, if you consume cow ghee, and that too in moderation, your cholesterol will not go up. But one thing, you should note that it increases kapha. So your main thing is that I would say if you go to Ashtanga there, you will come across Ashtanga where I say is you should not have your food which is ruksha, which is not oily or watery. You should not have dry food in the sense burgers or pizzas or something which are extremely dry. Ayurveda prohibits you from having dry food. So you can add ghee and have food. Now, Ayurveda also asks you to do exercise. So I would say recommend you to have ghee in decent quantity, and if you sit idly and not doing anything, your kapha will go up and your cholesterol or what all other things can go up. But otherwise, you consume that ghee and you do your exercises regularly. That means what happens is you are burning that ghee, and that ghee actually gets excreted. You know that when you sweat, you feel that oil, right? The same ghee in the form of your sebum, in the form of your oil, comes out of the skin, and that is the best thing for your skin. You will look much younger when you consume ghee in decent quantities and do exercise to burn it. It will not increase your LDL or HDL or whatever it is, or triglycerides, provided it is good cow's ghee. Do you recommend not drinking water from plastic bottles? I would say, Gary, yes, because microplastics are there everywhere. We think that microplastics are there only if you carry water in water bottles, or you get your provisions or your vegetables packed in plastic. That's not true. You have got microplastics everywhere around you. And the biggest contributor of microplastic, you will be shocked to hear that it is your car tires. The rubber, they add a lot of plastic and petrochemical things into it to get it into that shape. Every time your car runs on the road, rah, 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 and it breaks and all those things, there is microplastic released in the air. How many cars are running? You sit, you whatever you see, microplastic is just falling right now. You open anything anywhere, microplastic comes and falls into it. So we are living in a very dangerous world right now. So yeah, so I would say don't take water from a plastic water bottle. Let it be a pet also, but no. Even rainwater is similar to RO water, but how is rainwater best? Rainwater is basically, I would not say rainwater is RO. Okay, you mean to say it is only H2O? Atmosphere, it contains a lot of things, not only what do you call, how would I say, not only dust or chemicals. Okay, it also has other effects. Okay, you will have lot of atmosphere when water passes through atmosphere, let me put it that way. You have a lot of gases over there, you have a lot of minerals over there. It is 100% exposed to all those things by the time it reaches. Okay, and Acharya says it's always good to collect water in an earthen pot, in a golden vessel or in a silver vessel, and you consume it. Okay, so I would not compare rainwater to RO water. RO water, everything is taken out. Okay, but rainwater is exposed to a lot of gases out there, a lot of minerals out there, a lot of things which are there present in the atmosphere before it actually falls on the ground. Once it falls on the ground, then you have got a lot of minerals added from the earth also, right? Okay, so well water is supposed to be one of the best. Okay, and in rainy season, river water is supposed to be the worst. You're not supposed to drink or take get exposed to too much of river water during the rainy season. uh, are A1 and A2 proteins important when it comes to ghee? I'm not I'm sorry to tell you that I'm not very clear about what whether A1 protein or A2 protein, because we don't break it. As far as Ayurveda goes, when you take ghee, that is cow's ghee, okay. Dhi dhriti smriti medha agni kamkshite sashtite ghritam. Somebody who wants dhi means buddhi, intellect. Dhriti means your intelligence to see which is good or bad. Okay, smriti, memory, or agni. If you want all these things, it's always good for you to take ghee. And I would say desi ghee or natural ghee is the best. A1, A2, and all those things, are extremely confusing. Desi ghee, what I've understood, is gives you A2. Okay, and that's what people consider to be superior. A1 is from the hybrid cows and stuff like that, which I'm not, and even from buffaloes, I'm not very sure how good they are. But ghee from a desi cow or a native cow is always good, and I think that is A2, right? What are the benefits of having bath in hot water? If you take a shower in hot water, you'll immediately notice that your pains go down, your tiredness go down, and you feel much fresher. Okay, and but the problem is that tenevatu uttamangasya. If you pour the same hot water on the uttamanga on your head, tenevatu uttamangasya. Okay, balahrit kesha chakshusham. Balahrit, it reduces the strength of your hair and your eyes. So hot water is good for, okay, adhakkaya, it is good for your, to pour below your neck. That means for your body, but never good for your face and your head, because it is bad for your hair and your eyes. Okay. Uh, okay. Is high pitta in the body anywhere connected to hormonal imbalance? Okay. Yes. High pitta in the body definitely changes a lot of, alters a lot of things. And high pitta is one reason why people go into depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. And that indirectly or directly affects your hormones. So pitta, we can't say that all hormones are pitta. you know uh, for somebody who is predominantly pitta, that means his prakriti is pitta, he will not have hormonal imbalance. For somebody who is predominantly vata, he will not have. But if your vata also goes up really high, if your kapha also goes up really high, or a pitta goes up really high, or it really goes down also, you will have definitely have hormonal imbalance. But pitta is one thing which, when goes up really high, will affect you mentally. Your stress, your depression, and stuff like that, anxiety, and all those things are directly related to pitta. Okay, so we are coming to an end for a couple of questions, and then we can wind up. Why do you don't recommend supplements? Because the food that is grown in this age has less nutrition due to more inorganic fertilizers used. Tejasvi Murthy, how do you? Okay, now let me put it this way. Okay, this is an industry. Okay, nutraceuticals is an industry. Now, if you look from the lab's point of view, there are lot of things which once they draw your blood, they can make out that this is deficient, that is deficient, this is deficient. When did the modern scientists find out that the body has got zinc, or the body needs magnesium, or the body, that body has also got gold? Off late they have found out. Do you think that they have found out everything that is in the body? No. Major things which can be found by the lab, they have found out. And when that is deficient, they say that is deficient. But how do you know that when you are iron deficient, you might also be, just for argument's sake, you might also be gold or platinum deficient also? You don't know that. Okay. So where do you have to rectify? You don't know whether you are gold deficient. Without knowing, how, why will you take gold? So doctor does not prescribe gold. Doctor says you are vitamin this deficient, vitamin that deficient, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, and all vitamins we have not found. Do you mean that this it's not there? It will be there, but we have not found it yet. So when you say supplementing, how much can you supplement and to what extent can you supplement? I would say you should try to focus on eating good food. And just because you supplement because you feel that you're not getting good food is never a healthy choice. Okay. Now, what is happening is there's something called Centrum. Sorry, I'm using that name. Okay. They say you can eat whatever you want to eat, just pop one pill. Okay. It'll take care of all your daily needs. Who knows what your daily need is? Okay. It is very vague. So, Teshamurti, in my opinion, if you don't have access to good food or you don't make that effort to get good food, and you think that you will get everything through supplements, I think probably you might be on the wrong path. I'm not, when I mean you, I didn't mean you especially. I mean generally people are on the wrong path when they follow that. Try to eat good food on time, and you will notice that, according to Ayurveda, everything is Pancha Mahabhuta. Okay, and you start eating seasonal things, the body knows what to take from what it eats. If you overeat also, the body will not be able to absorb what you're eating. If you undereat also, body will not be able, but undereating is better than overeating, because at least the body will digest everything, will absorb whatever is available. Eating moderately on time, and don't think too much, you will be fine, don't worry at all. Absolutely not. If you are a Vata person, if you are into 100 kilometers per day, you will keep on denourishing your body, and one fine day you will vanish into thin air. Okay, not good for you. Then for good Agni also, slightly hot or warm water is good. I would say a little bit of hot water is very good. If you feel indigestion also, sipping a little bit of hot water is the only solution. Don't drink too much of water. Thinking that hot water will help digest, don't drink too much of hot water. That at the end of the day, water will cool your system down. That will also lead to indigestion. Okay, drink a little bit of hot water. Slowly, sip by sip, will help you digest better. Is it possible to identify Prakriti of food which are high in pitta? I may not cook food, single ingredients. Yeah, definitely. Everything has got gunas. Every dravya has got its own rasa, guna, virya, vipaka. So every food also has that, because that's the reason why certain foods increase pitta, certain foods decrease pitta, certain foods increase vata, certain foods. So it's very important for you to understand that, especially when you look at tastes, what you call spicy, sour, and salty foods, generally speaking, will increase pitta. If you can avoid this, your pitta can go. That's the reason why in summers, okay, acharyas asked you to avoid salty, sour, and spicy food. Okay. It is difficult to get fresh or salt pickled amla that is organic in Virginia. Can you take tablets or powder in warm water? The best option is to eat the fruit. Otherwise, yes, you can take. I don't want you to take tablets. I would say you can take powder in warm water. Add a pinch of salt also with it and have it. Okay, it will not give you the actual, what do you call, the benefits of fresh amla, but still it's fine. But you should see that you don't overdo it. Probably half a teaspoon, maybe 3 grams would be more than enough. And see that you don't pass soft bowls after this. If you're passing too much of bowls, then you cut down the amount of amla powder you have. Is sesame good for joints and dhatus? Yes, sesame oil and sesame as such is also good for your joints and dhatus, because by nature it provides lubrication to the joints and also to every part of the body. Sesame is very good. Okay, and sesame is slightly on the hotter side, and you will see that your agni is always up. Okay, so whatever food you eat will definitely get digested, and especially for women. Okay, consuming sesame if your periods are not regular or you want to regularize your periods, sesame is actually a very good choice. Where is ama on the body? In the blood tissues, gut, everywhere. Okay, ama is not something which you can just take out like that. Okay, so ama is basically when your metabolism goes down, and the head office is basically the tummy, the stomach. Okay, and you have got each and every cell has got its own metabolism. So when you have this digestion going down, metabolism of each and every cell also goes down. So when you can actually keep this higher, then naturally you'll notice that each and every cell the metabolism goes up. So ama is not something which is in a specific place. Yes, as far as conditions go, vikriti, we do have ama in specific places. When you call amavata or you call koshaka shisha and back pains and stuff like that, you have got ama in specific spaces places. But the treatment for that is you have to see that you burn the general ama. That ama is also taken care of. It's not in one place, it is generalized, but it can be localized in certain places. Okay. If I had to consume dry fruit like biscuit, roasted food, should I consume little more water to compensate the dryness, or what should be done to keep vata in check? You know, Kamalnath, first choice. Don't eat food like biscuits or roasted food. Okay, that's first choice. Now, when you want to eat it, okay, I would say, are you consuming that food, that biscuit as food or as a snack? Snacking is bad now. If you want to really, you like somebody gives you a cookie, you want to eat it, I would say, uh, don't prevent yourself from eating it. When you're sitting for your morning meal or your evening meal or your lunch, you have that cookie and continue with your meal, and your meal will definitely be oily or watery or whatever it is. Don't try to eat this thing and drink water. Okay, don't snack on biscuits or what you call that, or roasted food. I would say snacking is what you have to stop. I know that I'm putting it very clear. See, I have taken this from my father. Okay, whenever somebody comes and gives him, might be some snack or some pastry or something for him to eat, might be about 4 o'clock or so, birthday party, 4:30, 5 o'clock, they can bring something to eat. He'll just say thank you and he'll give it to my mom. Okay, it's not that a mom is going to eat it. It is like, when he sits for his dinner at about 7 o'clock, the same thing comes onto his table. Okay, it is not that he doesn't eat, he eats it, but he eats it along with his meal. He eats that snack or the junk or whatever it is and the pastry, and then continues with his dinner. So what happens if he's eating two rotis for his dinner? That one roti is cut and he has his dinner. So I don't want you to eat anything like that, Kamalnath. Water quality in Bangalore is not good. Instead of RO water, what purifier can we use? You can use a natural filter, if I'm right. Try it out. Okay, you have got those filter cans which are available. It's got a candle in between, and it filters water really well. Okay, but I don't know whether it will be able to remove all the chemicals and stuff. But all physical impurities, that physical water purifier will remove. Okay, but if you still feel the water is not good, use RO water. Okay, but I would say, when somebody asks me whether RO water or groundwater is better, groundwater is better. If the groundwater is extremely polluted, then what to do? Masala Labs, I know who he is, Krish, but I don't watch him. Okay, tamarind does not remove any microplastics. Nothing can remove microplastics. No. Is cultured ghee the best to consume? Cultured ghee, what do you mean by cultured ghee? I'm not very clear. Okay, ghee is something you get when you heat butter. Okay, and in my opinion, that ghee is the best. Okay, I don't want you to culture that ghee anymore. fresh. Butter is supposed to, it's called Navanita, is supposed to be consumed fresh. And the only way you can preserve fresh butter is by melting it and converting it into ghee. Okay, so butter which is there in the freezer for about 3 months, 6 months with an expiry date, according to Ayurveda, is not Navanita. Navanita means butter or which has been taken fresh. Okay, so if you want to preserve that, that's the reason why when we were kids, they used to churn the curd, get the butter out, and we used to mix it in food and have. Okay, fresh that day, and it never used to be there for the next day. Next day again we used to churn. The remaining butter used to be heated, converted into ghee, and then it used to be in way it used we preserve it. Okay, so I would say that is really good. While having cold water bath, it's compulsory to put water on head also. See, a lot of people say, the moment you pour water on your body, the heat goes up to your head, and you feel heated up, right? To a certain extent, yes, it is right, because Ayurveda asks you to apply oil on the head every day. If you want to focus through Ayurveda, I would say apply oil on your head every day. Abhyangam ajaret nityam. Okay. Shira Shravana Padeshu Visheshena Tam. On the head, ears, and on the feet, you have to specifically apply and give good massage. So once you do that, you pour anything on your body. Okay, it will not increase the heat on your head or your eyes. Okay, and pouring water on your head bath, if you are used to taking pouring water on your head on a daily basis, well and good. If you are not, just because Ayurveda says don't start that and don't fall sick, because we see a lot of people, they follow blindly and they do it and they fall sick. So if you're not used to something, it's okay. I'm not able to digest milk. Would you recommend drinking milk with little sugar or no sugar at all? If you're not able to digest milk, if you add sugar, it becomes thicker and more difficult to digest. I would say add about 50% or 60% of water into milk, boil it and start drinking. Okay, and see whether you will be able to handle it. And after a month or so, try reducing the water little by little, little by little. And I don't want you to force yourself to drink milk, because milk is good. I would say drink 50% milk to 50% water. That is enough. Okay. Please recommend what herb water good for pitta and vata. For vata, I would say jeera water is the best thing. 1 teaspoon boiled in 2 liters of water. And for pitta, dhania water, coriander seed. Okay, same 1 teaspoon, maybe 3 to 4 or 5 grams boiled in 2 liters of water. That would be the best thing for pitta. Okay, and for kapha, why should I leave kapha aside? For kapha, it's always good for you to do the same thing. You can put 1 teaspoon of dry ginger and boil water. That is good. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Priya. Thank you very much. How to treat or avoid swimmers? Yes, I've noticed that a lot of kids, they get into swimming pool, and fluorinated water gets into their eyes, gets into their hair. They get really bad hair. It gets into the ear, and the swimmer's ear is basically not only because of the chlorinated water; it also could be because of the dirty water. Okay, so the only way you can prevent is by putting a really good earplug, which you can put in, which can prevent water from going in. But I would say, chlorinated water any day is not good. Water generally increases kapha and reduces pitta. Okay, but chlorinated water is ushna. It is scraping. It reduces kapha because it scrapes the skin and it increases pitta. I would not call swimming pool chlorinated water at all. It is extremely bad. Okay, and certain places where you go to swimming pools where they teach children, I don't think they just mix chlorine into water. You don't have to add so much of chlorine into water. So you should be basically asking them to regulate the amount of chlorine in water. There are standards. I don't think they're following standards. They just mix it. They smell and see if it is smelling or not. That's all they do. Okay, ask them to regulate it. Okay. Why yawning is contagious? Yawning is basically, I don't say yawning is contagious, but if you see somebody yawning, you'll feel like yawning only if you are tired. Otherwise, you will not yawn. If somebody is very fresh, and you see somebody yawn, he'll only smile, he'll not yawn. If you are tired, that's a signal for you. You look at it and then you feel like yawning. It's only when you are tired. Otherwise, you will not yawn. Uh, Vrish. So, despite of drinking plenty of water, I still feel dehydrated and have frequent urination. At the same time, my body is not retaining water. Could you please suggest what could be the reason? I want you to go and check your blood and see if you are diabetic. There is some issue with yourself, okay? Or else we'll have to see what is going wrong with your system. Okay, that's all I would say. Probably if you can go and consult a good doctor close to your place, we'll see what best can be done. Otherwise, I don't see any reason why water is not getting absorbed from your system. If you're drinking, probably if you're drinking too much of water, then that's something which your body, you have to stop. Okay, you stop drinking too much of water, let's see what happens to your system. First thing, what you have to do. You said you're able to digest. Okay, if I would not want you to add sugar. That's why I think that was the question. I would not want you to add sugar into milk, because milk, by and large, generally, if you look at the prakriti of milk, milk is sweet. Okay, I don't want you to sweeten it too much and then spoil it. Okay, conditions, yes, if there are certain conditions where you have to add sugar or probably honey or something, medical conditions where a doctor says you have to do this, then it is fine. Otherwise, on a daily basis, when you drink milk as such. Carbonated water is not good for digestion. Carbonated water is extremely acidic. You will notice that it is not very good. But that's all I want to say. A lot of gas, generally, people who have got gas, they drink soda and they burp, and then they feel, the gas releases. But I would not recommend carbonated water. Let us drink normal water. Right, Tejashri Murthy? Yeah, Kamalnath, thank you. Uh, yes, I can discuss that. Deworming is very much necessary especially for children. I think I'll have a topic on that later. That's a good topic. Okay. Food should be taken only when previous meal is digested. But if I feel like eating, even when not hungry, what is the issue? When you feel like eating, even when you are not hungry, that means your body is not well nourished. That means you're not digesting properly. So your digestion has to be taken care of. Okay, that means you are eating, it is not getting digested, it's not getting absorbed. That's the reason why your body is still asking for food. The reason why you feel hungry is your body is asking for nourishment. Okay, and when you're eating really well, so if probably I would say that the amount of food you eat should go down, and the way you eat should change, then things will change. See, the main reason for health is, I would say, is scarcity or poverty. People who have got very little to eat are much healthier than people who have got in abundance. Because when you're eating too much, your digestive capacity doesn't have the capacity to digest everything really well. So you miss a lot of things. But you eat little bit, you eat good things, little things in small quantities, your body really works hard on it and it digests it really well, and your energy goes up. So you might not be digesting and absorbing really well. Okay. So good night. I'll see you tomorrow with some other topic. Okay. Namaste.